What do you think is better, living off is rich or living a country that actually works?
Living a country that works.
You are probably going to become MP one day, or senator.
Yeah,
one
I
day.
might even be president at this rate because this country requires my urgent attention. I read a quote that said that sometimes entrepreneurship is a scary thing because you wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning and you're thinking to yourself, you're solving a problem that nobody asked you to solve, and you still have to wake up and believe and show up. Well, the first time I did that promotion is when I came back from Somalia. It was quite the experience over there.
What did you see?
Ooh, I don't even know if I'm allowed.
Were you scared at all?
I was absolutely scared. The closest I was with God was that, man, we used to speak every 10 or so minutes. Too long. I hope we're not going to go up. But anyway, I picked up the phone. And it goes, hello. And I say, hello. Then he's like, is the PC in? Because, no, he's not. He has not yet come. Okay. Akirudi mwambie Moi alipiga. And I hung up.
Before the show starts, I want to let you in on something. Episode 100, 101, and 102 of the Couch Connect podcast is going to be recorded live in the city of Nairobi, the city of Toronto, and the city of Minneapolis. If you'd like to be part of the audience, purchase your ticket now. Find the link in the description to this video below. Enjoy this episode. Willis Raburu. If I were to call you in Luo, and I was saying the name Willis in Luo, how would I say it?
Willis.
Willis.
Yeah, Willis.
You even have to look down. Willis. Willis. Nango Willis.
Willis.
Oh man. Angeo the Luo Martin.
Martin too?
And the one I don't know, I compensate with the accent.
No.
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Welcome.
Even your ujui sasa nisema inaitwa kugajo.
Kugajo ni
Ile
nini?
ni making it up as you go along.
Agajo.
Agaja.
Adigajo podcast ni.
Idi gaja podcast. Kana correct. Nyasai ni good. Don't panic,
Okan panic. Oka panic. I spent almost 4 years of my early life in Luo land.
Where?
In Kendu Bay. And Kendu Adventist Hospital. So that's where I started my school, Rubycraft Primary School.
Oh, okay.
I lived there for 4 years. I think eventually I was expelled from the school, but nobody ever admits that.
Eventually you were expelled.
I think so, in grade 3, man. Nobody's ever admitting to the story. Yeah, man. But Willis, I've come to learn something about you.
Okay.
You know too much than you let on.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know.
Okay.
Is it a bad thing? No, what I know is that you got into the media with intention, but also at the same time you trained for it.
Yes.
You went to school for it.
I did go to school for
and even did a master's and a thesis on something.
And a thesis. You must say that one with accent. Thesis.
You did a thesis. Because it's got to have some weight.
Yes.
What was your thesis in?
My thesis was on digital convergence. And it was a case study of Royal Media Services and Nation Media Group.
What is digital convergence?
Digital convergence, to converge, as
Bring
Tino
things together.
Kajuang used to say, is to bring things together. So basically,
Yeah.
bringing together of what would be platform systems, methods that then enable the dissemination of information, especially now in the media, is bringing those things together.
Yeah. When you got into this, were you sure that is this something that you foresaw that you wanted to get into? Because I remember the government then had said that I think we're going to move from
Digital migration, that phase.
Yeah,
So big, tough space that time for, I remember at that time I was working at Royal Media Services.
Yeah.
And we were switched off for like 3 months.
So there was no Royal Media
TV, it was just on YouTube.
For 3 months?
For 3 months, yeah.
Because you refused to go digital,
Because,
or
and
what?
it was Citizen and TV, I think, and KTN. No, not KTN. KTN was not part of it. Because then So the big media houses came together and formed what they call ADN, Africa Digital Network, that comprised of Citizen TV. Because basically the thing was, the argument then was that, hey, so they were saying that, listen, guys, we have our technology and our transmitters already out there, right?
Yeah.
So we have to replace them with digital transmitters, for lack of a better word, like just in layman's terms, right?
Yeah.
So what they were arguing is that, like, for example, Citizen had that time made upwards of 3-4 billion in these transmitters.
Yeah, they'd
spread
invested.
Across, spread across the country. I think the only person who came close was KBC.
Yeah.
So that's why Citizen is number one, right? Because they had that. So what the government was saying at that time is that then they remapped out the country.
Yeah.
So they would say, for example, if you are in Nairobi, then your transmitter would be, the Nairobi area will stretch all the way to Machakos, for example.
Yeah.
So now what would happen that what you need to do then is you put a relay system sort of like on your Nairobi one.
Yeah.
To help it go to
it's kind of like
Machakos, to push it forward, to expand it forward. Yeah,
Yeah.
like what you do with the TP link.
Yeah.
To
like
kind of expand
repeating,
it. Yes.
like a repeaters,
There you
Wi-Fi
go.
repeaters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they were arguing that, so what are we going to do with our existing infrastructure? We need a little bit more time.
Yeah.
By that time, the government was like, no, we're going to go for it. And if you don't switch off, because now you have to change from your terrestrial standard to digital.
Yeah.
That phase was late, and there was a whole court thing, the Supreme Court, and everything. It was a whole process. And if you don't comply with that directive, that you're going to be switched off, because now we go to the digital frequency.
Yeah.
So for a while, we were switched off, and we were just on YouTube.
But you still had your numbers even on YouTube.
Yes, we still had our numbers on YouTube, and we had, I think, fortunate for us was we had also a leadership who came and told us, hey, man, don't you worry, man. These guys can't finish my money. I got you. Yeah, I got you. It's okay. I got you. Don't worry. We'll still pay people's salaries. We are okay. And we used to imagine we'd show up, do our programs, do our news for YouTube. What they didn't know is they were pushing people to realize that, hey, by the way, you can actually watch this stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, and I guess there's people who went on YouTube and never came
never
back.
come back.
Yeah.
To date, there's so many people who ask, where do you watch your news? They're like, I'm here to see yo decoder such and such. Me, I watch YouTube.
I guess, and the TVs came out that had the thing.
That I had the smart TVs at that time also, kind of. So it was sort of you would almost think maybe some people sat down and crafted the thing, if you're a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
Because
Kina Matiang'i walikaa chini
wakasema tunataka kupush hizi smart TV.
Yeah.
Na so what watawachaje? So let's make the number one thing they watch, because at that time, those years back, the number one content, and you viewed us to be a top shot, was news.
Yeah,
if your news was right,
yeah,
then you get advertisers to kind of come around the or what my friend Ocean would say, oscillate.
Yes.
Around. You would have people to kind of come around that time. The block between 7 to 9 then becomes prime time, right? So that because this product at 7, which is the news, is watched about 4 million people statistically, and then at 9 o'clock is also watched by another 4 million people.
Yeah.
So then you have soaps, these Mexican soaps, which are also such a huge thing.
Oh man, those things.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember watching one called Cuando Ses Mia.
Cuando Ses Mia. Yeah, that was the one. Me, I watched Cuando Ses Mia, La Mujer de mi Vida.
Oh, man.
And all of these things.
La Revancha, I think.
La Revancha was like,
point.
wait.
Yeah.
But yeah, so people loved them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at that time, that was what was happening. So fast forward, and everybody talks about digital. And having been in the media, like, okay, let's talk about digital. But you realize they're focusing on social media, right?
Yeah.
So they're, in the beginning, they were interested on what are our numbers in terms of how many people are following us. Then they became interested in una trend. Then it moved from, okay, after we trend, they realized, all right, 10 people can sit in a room and make something trend.
Yeah. So it's the
it's
numbers
not really a
are
matrix.
not, yeah.
So then how are you trending also? Because are you actually engaged in conversation around the thing? And back then it was, again, when something is new, it was interesting because now guys were actively using the hashtag, and it's a brilliant thing. It happens even to me to date. Sometimes when I'm listening to, I'm in the car and I'm listening to radio and I'm listening to like Claudia or Igunza or anybody, and I text them and they read my name out. Hey, niko na message hapo kutoka kwa Bazu. Amesema ABCD. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
It feels great to be like watching on TV. You've used the hashtag, and then somebody says, all right, man, Ogato here from Canada is saying that this bill is not supposed to pass. I'll keep the comments coming. And say, Jeff Koenanga na kusoma jina. So it feels great. And at that time, there was that facade, and there was what they call appointment viewership. So if it gets to 6 o'clock, I'm trying to rush home to watch the news. If it gets to 9 o'clock, I'm trying to get everything settled down, wash the dishes, get ready, watch news, and I can go sleep. Yeah. These days it's different. And people will, by the time you're getting to 7 or 9 o'clock, by and large, you know
everything.
What, how they said it, where they said it, who replied. Yeah. So you're not even going to look at to confirm what had happened. You now know it's happened. Multiple outlets have already reported it. Yes. So the news as a segment is not watched basically for it per se, especially with the Gen Z. It's watched. It's getting more personality based. Yeah. Okay. So I would watch because I want to see Yvonne Okwara and because she presents the news well and she has a well grasp of issues. I would watch because I want to see Trevor Mbija because he presents this thing well. I would watch because I want to see Jeff Koenage because he's, apart from presenting, he has some showbiz element to it. So that's it. Or I would watch because of the people who are brought to guests who come on the show. Okay. Yeah. But now remember with the guests again, you see also at the back of my mind, I'm like, am I going to sit here for 1 hour and watch the whole thing? For me, unless it's Tiwa Savage. Or
can you put Tiwa Savage on the screen just for the sake of Mr. Raburu?
That one I will watch religiously. But, or am I going to sit back and know that tomorrow or even a few hours before I sleep, I can go and scroll and see how you cut the bits. Yeah. Yeah. So now news is not the main thing that attracts people to TV anymore. So now people are wondering, where are we going to go? And then also, how is this information being disseminated to us? So it's not just about the social media angle, which, like I said, it started with trending numbers. Now it is late for them, but they're still not thinking about how do we repurpose this content and put it out there. So for them now, the easiest thing is what? Cut, snip, post. Cut the one now into juicy bites, post, which is good, but again, other than that, channel yako ni yan. Tashinda tu ni kuwatch Murkomen vile ametuziana ama
pencil.
Pencil. Unako pipe, yawa, mwesemewa. Or what, what else I'm going to make up my time. And then you realize that there's the upsurge of the Netflixes and the Hulus and the Primes and the Showmaxes and all these things. So you're competing a lot. Now the competition is no longer just Citizen competing with NTV, competing with K24, competing with KBC. It is, I'm competing with YouTube. I'm competing with
Joe Rogan.
With Joe Rogan.
I'm competing with and the Couch Connect.
With you. Yeah, I'm competing with you. So, and then also then it becomes, especially as we're going to the election period. A Murkomen would much rather come and sit here with you than go on TV. Yeah, true. Yeah, not because you won't ask him the hard questions, but you're flexible on time. Yeah. You can fit into his schedule. You can pack these things and go to
his house,
he can come here.
Or it could even be in his car.
Or it could be in his car and just
some way of getting it to work. Which they could also
do, but they still are thinking for, at this block, at 9 p.m., you want me out at 9 p.m. and everybody knowing I'm at your station at 9 p.m., what about my security? Yeah. For example, for some people it's a concern. Kofi was arrested. He came, he had hit somebody, the crazy guy, very bad, and then he came on Citizen TV, he was speaking. Yeah. Alitoka tu nje hivi.
They're waiting for him right there. Straight to JKIA.
Man. So I think it's the model is really going to change. And even as I was studying the model, I was looking at the New York Times, which was one of my base, and I was like looking at how the CEO left, and he talked about how we need to change the processes. Yeah. So how is the news being disseminated? What equipment are you using? How are you making it easy for somebody to work? What system are you putting in place to send files? Yeah. To download, to go live, to record, to make money, even if it's not a paywall. Yes, it could be a paywall to read more. And even if you're putting a paywall, why would I pay on this device
free on
another
Twitter.
Place? On Twitter. So what else? So New York Times, for example, they partnered with Sirius X Radio. They did New York Cooking. Yeah. They, I think, is it the Athletic or Telegraph? One of them. If you get a New York Times subscription, you have a subscription to Telegraph.
To all of these other ones,
To forget the name of the sports one, the Athletic, I think it's called. Yeah. And it has like exclusive, like especially time at transfer window, I get Fabrizio Nauyu.
Yeah.
But then you see again, like someone like Fabrizio came and changed everything. So what I realized was that these guys were a bit rigid. They were not changing the legacy media.
Yeah.
They were putting in place methods. They're very quick to take you to learn. You go learn and get the information. They're quick to on paper, on your blueprint.
Yeah.
This is where we want to go. But that's it. After that, that's it.
Yeah. You even went to CNN, I remember.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I went for CNN for fellowship.
Yeah.
And just the systems. I mean, of course, it's a massive operation.
Yeah.
And the revenues are quite different, especially from CNN International.
Yeah.
And so they're able to take certain swipes even at would-be advertisers. Like if an advertiser is an airline and it's messed up, they're not afraid to talk about it because, this person advertises here, so you can pull the advertising.
Off.
Yeah,
they may pull out the
yes, they're not afraid. And because they've embraced digital platforms, they've embraced revenue from digital, they've embraced repackaging, they've grown a community. Which now people will come to you because of community. Yeah, will come to you because they believe in
the content.
you're putting. Then they'll also come to you because of your personalities, your Anderson Coopers, your Christian Narampur, and all of that. But they've had to move a lot. Yeah. So when I watched that, their systems are great though. They're fact checking, putting all your content in there. It fact checks it for you. You have a desk of people who are calling and like, Willis Kweli, Amanda University. We're about to put Willis on air. And he says he's a professor. Does he really work in this university? You know? So I learned a lot. They opened up my mind. And also by then the equipment they were using was, of course, advanced. Yeah. So I felt like we need to move there. And even my research, it showed that the willingness is there. But the infrastructure and the finances, the backing, financial backing is not. Yeah. So that's why there's that
laxity to move in that direction. Yeah, but listening to you here, I think you're a very dangerous man. Dangerous in the sense that you know too much, man. You know a lot. You know from a point of observation. Right. You know from a point of doing. Right. You know from a point of training too. Right. And you've also been there. And so when I see you setting up Wabebe XP, man, I am scared.
Yeah, you gotta be scared. You better be.
Yeah. And this is because you're not only coming, of course, Wabebe XP being your platform. That's right. At least that's how you push it. Yes. You have that freedom and the autonomy, the independence to run it the way you want to run it. Right. So all these things that you've learned from CNN, from New York Times, and the laxity that you've seen in legacy media locally, you are able to amalgamate that together and create a system around it that makes you a very dangerous. I would say, I wouldn't call you a monolith yet because you're not old and your system is not old. Right. But as a very dangerous future monolith. I think I can see Wabebe XP probably becoming, sort of like the Comcast of the future here.
Well, amen to that. Amen to that. Because, and you see the other thing, one of the concepts that really amazed me as I was growing up, and you're in the medical field, was that word Doctors Without Borders. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It used to amaze me. Like, whoa, so it means that these guys can just fly into this country and help people? Mm-hmm. Like, of course, in reality, there are borders, right? Yes. And there's you can't just fly into a place without, but that concept used to amaze me because there are certain limits. You know how they say think with outside the box? Yeah. But at some point, so long as you think, because the existence of the box becomes the problem. Yes. so forget the box.
Take out the box.
Just think. Some solutions are just think. Fikiria tu, and you have the solution from within you. Yeah. So for me, when I look at Wabebe, it's a platform where I want to empower people. I want to make sure that people understand that they can come here and get quality content. Yeah. That they can create as well, because we have the Wabebe studios. They can come and create at the studios as well. Yeah. We're doing, from January, the Wabebe Creator Academy, where we're empowering creators with skills, the use of like a 10-week program as well. But I want people who come to Wabebe to experience that freedom.
Yeah.
That we don't have to do, and I have to remind myself this, and my partner always tells me, Ivy always tells me that, hey, you need, every time you're seeing that you're thinking in a certain way, remember that's your 13 years that you're in legacy media. So you have to kind of fight. It's not an easy thing because that's all I knew.
Yeah.
You have to fight to think different. You have to fight to think about how you're rolling out the content. Sometimes I've even had to back away kidogo and let the professionals now, my
Take
business
over.
partner David, because he's the one who, he's a DOP, he's a cinematographer, he knows everything.
Yeah.
So sometimes when he's filming, Mimi, I'm still with my old news mentality. Hey, apana, we film like this.
Yeah.
Let's shoot as live.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, let's take some cutaways here and let's do this here, and then we're gonna come and put this together and it'll be a wonderful product.
Yeah.
But me, I'm like, so sometimes I catch myself and I just I walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a learning process. I don't want people to have borders. I know even the platforms, dissemination, owning your content, registering it, having your own servers, all those things that make you independent. That's the aim.
And that's where you want to go, man.
Yes.
Because earlier I was talking to you and saying that one of the saddest things with digital media is that there are other people who kind of like control
The gatekeepers.
Yeah. And one of the things that they can do is they tell you what not to say. And if you say whatever that you're not supposed to say, they just turn off the
turn it
switch
off,
for you.
yeah.
And suddenly, you are off air. But when you have your own thing that is out there, you have your own servers, especially, which is, I think, the biggest frontier, having your own servers.
Right.
Then literally nobody can touch you.
Yeah.
You become, freedom of expression then becomes a reality
Yeah.
through you.
Yeah. But even, I mean, I think the biggest, it's a part of Virginia. It's not Ashburn, but there's a part of most of the servers are in Virginia, basically, in the US, right? Even Google servers and all that, they're in one place, and it has probably the one of the richest people there. But it's so important, even like with all these things we're seeing with the Cyber Crimes Act now and everything. It's important to maintain that independence, because that independence guarantees you that, and it's not because you're not seeking independence to be reckless, and a rebel. It's just seeking independence to that if there is indeed a time for me to speak out and I have my facts and it is you are actually on the wrong, you can't use an excuse to kind of switch me off. Yeah, that's why you need to be independent, not because you want to cause trouble, but because should trouble come, you can talk about it. Yeah. But then it also holds with, like they say, I mean, the greatest Spider-Man, is it Spider-Man? With the great freedom comes great responsibility. One of the greatest quotes that
the great Spider-Man.
Yes. Yeah. If with great freedom, Peter, with great freedom comes great responsibility. So let's embrace the responsibility, but let's also be bold enough to disrupt. T.D. Jakes in his book Disruptive Thinking, he always talks about the first step is you need to be bold enough to do it. I'll tell you what, this cup right here, this was somebody's idea. This brand actually, they haven't paid, so we won't mention them. But this brand is actually one of my favorite. I have a thermos like this in my car. Not thermos. Okay, thermos is the brand. But I have a mug like this in my car. But this was somebody's idea. This microphone was somebody's idea. So was this phone. So was this, everything around you was somebody's idea.
This table was my idea.
Was your idea.
My idea.
Yeah. So you see, you are able to come into a space where people are creating tables, and you say that I create tables for people who would use this for reading. So I'm going to create this to do my podcast. So it's basically just you taking the things that are around you and adding a little bit of that magic juice called thinking, and then coming up with something that will change. But if you want to do it regular, then it will be good. You could have some success, but you want to do something that challenges you. And that's why even for me, let's jump and do it.
Does Wabebe challenge you?
Every day. Man, I read a quote that said that sometimes entrepreneurship is a scary thing because you wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning and you're thinking to yourself, you're solving a problem that nobody asked you to solve.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah. And you still have to wake up and believe and show up.
Yeah. And but the hope here is also that once you solve that problem, then the fruits, not necessarily the financial fruits, but the fruits, the things that you create transcend the trouble, the stresses of whatever you are trying to create, at least when you were doing it.
Yes.
Let me take you back to when you were trouble yourself. I'm saying this, I'm a parent now, and I know that children are trouble.
Yeah.
So if they want to be, of course, depending on how a parent or anyone looks at it. But you are born into the household of one of the, can I say this, most feared people in the administration then, your dad being a provincial commissioner.
Right.
I'm saying this because, man, anybody who was something commissioner, district commissioner, provincial commissioner, something commissioner, man, those people were feared.
Yeah.
And in this household, did you have the freedom to think the way you think right now?
Well,
not to think, but maybe to express yourself.
To express myself. Yeah. Well, I guess the freedom to express myself in the early stages, no. And this is because of just pure fear and just the personality that I had then. I wasn't really a talker, even like if kiatu kinifinya. Nilikuwa na nyamaza.
Unanyamaza na kiatu mazebi.
Well, not in the literal sense, but like if somebody's pissed off at me, I won't talk back.
I see.
I won't tell you what I think. And over the years, I've had to actually, through therapy and all these things, change some of that.
Yeah.
And also because of that, I would see how like guys would tremble when my dad shows up, wanapiga salute, wananyamaza, they don't speak unless they're spoken to. And then I was like, damn. And it was harsh, but then also he was funny, and he would take care of us, and he would make us laugh, and he would teach us principles. He was still is a staunch Christian. So he would teach us principles, teach us how to pray, force us to get saved.
What do you mean by force you to get saved?
The very first time I accepted the Lord Jesus Christ as my personal savior, tuliitwa tu, we were nyumbani with my cousins in Kakamega, kujani?
Tunaenda
piga magoti, repeat after me.
Okay.
Dear Lord, I come to you. I am a sinner. Write my name in the Lamb's Book of Life. Write my name in the Lamb's Book of Life.
Who is this your dad doing
my
this?
My dad, yeah.
Okay.
And then he said, kutoka leo, ukuliza, you must say your name and you say, and Jesus Christ is my personal savior.
Okay.
Back then.
So my name is Joab Ogato.
Yes, and Jesus Christ is my personal savior.
So you're there, my name is Willis Raburu.
And my Jesus Christ is my personal savior. I didn't know what it meant then, but let's go, man. Hi, Jesus. Let's go.
So you're doing this. How old are you at this point?
I was in class 5.
Were you in boarding school?
No. I was in.
Okay, in a day school.
I was in the Aga Khan Primary. Yes.
Interesting that your dad would take you to Aga Khan though, and not
right?
St. Peter's or St. John's.
So funny, I was born in Aga Khan Hospital. I went to Aga Khan Nursery. Then I went to Aga Khan Primary.
Aga Khan High School too. And Aga Khan University. Don't tell me that's what you did. You're going to do your PhD or whatever.
Actually, I was thinking about it. But I did my master's at USIU. I wanted to do my master's still at USIU. But I did look at some of the programs that
Aga Khan
has, yes.
Yeah. Somebody told me, his name is Maurice Mbui, probably folklore films. So Maurice Mbui and a bunch of his friends have done a lot of work for BBC and stuff like that.
Right, the Beebs.
Yeah, so Maurice does his master's at Aga Khan, and he told me, I told him, man, the Aga Khan I know is a university that treats people like it's a university, it's a university hospital. A hospital university. Like it's a medical university. That's all I know about Aga Khan. Like, man, they have the best media program, filmmaking program in Africa. I was like, Maurice, aren't you just saying this because that's where you go to school? Would you say that they have a good school? I mean, we're not marking them or anything, but...
I mean, they would. I mean, having my bias to USIU, USIU is still great. But a lot of my media colleagues have actually gone to and done their masters out
AKU?
of... AKU. Sam Gituku, Philip Waniki. And then they also have nice, short... 3-month programs like media executive, being a media executive and all that. So yes, I would say that they're up there. Yeah.
And so you go to church. 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 You go to ch to church and you become a Christian.
Yes.
But still, you think of not being a padre, which would be important. But anyways, somehow you end up in the media industry. So you told me earlier that at age 7, you are reading news to your mother.
Yes.
From newspapers.
Mm-hmm. Because with this guy who was here was my dad, who you say they're feared, right?
Yeah.
So this guy who was feared, revered.
Mm-hmm.
I should find a third one that rhymes with that, because it was like feared, revered, and
something else.
Yeah. So he was feared and revered. But when news would come, everybody would have to keep quiet. And he would listen to this person who's bringing them the news. So then for me, I would be like, I want to be that guy. Wenye, yani baba yangu ananyamazisha wengine. Kumsikiza. Mimi natakuwa umse. So and I used to see how they do the news, and they go to the business news, and they go to the sports news, and then the Gazette was saying the same, right? So
I have a theory. I have a theory why your dad was telling you guys to keep quiet. During that time, the president who was in power used to announce appointments and firing people on news. And so your dad wanted to make sure that he has his job
still got his
at
job,
7:30 or 9:30, whatever.
Yeah, actually, that's true.
Probably.
Because the first item was Rais Daniel Toroitich arap Moi leo katika ikulu ya Nairobi. Rais, whatever he was doing. The first and second story was always his
photo there.
Yeah.
Let's put up a picture of Daniel arap Moi, just as Willis was saying whatever he was saying.
Yeah. That was Rais Daniel Toroitich arap Moi leo katika ikulu ya Nairobi alipokea wageni kutoka Uchina. Rais akisema ya kwamba ushirikiano na Uchina utaweka Kenya kwa kipaumbele. What is development?
Maendeleo. Yeah. And right there, the photo would be there for like 15 seconds.
Yes. Then it goes to him actually receiving them. And then he goes and, huku haya kijiri Rais Moi baada ya hapo, akaenda katika kanisa ya ACK.
Yeah.
Rais akawaambia Wakenya kwamba ni lazima Wakenya waishi kwa amani. Sisi tunataka Kenya iishi kwa amani ndio tuende mbele. Kabla ya kufanya hiyo, nimeambia watu na naambia watu katika televisheni, katika magazeti ya kwamba Kenya is a democratic republic na Kenya inaendelea mbele.
A democratic republic. But you know the way they say when someone passes away and people start looking back, they start saying great things about them. Someone recently was, Prezo was here recently, and he was telling me about how Moi was a great president. Of course, Prezo loves Moi to death.
Right.
He even has portraits of him in his home and stuff like that. But he was giving pointers to how he was giving them free milk. But I told Prezo, milk is, free milk. But man, Prezo was so adamant about that thing that he painted a totally different picture about the Moi that we know. And then I remembered even when Moi passed away, there was so many people who came out to say nice things about him. Of course, the same way they came out to say nice things about Baba when he passed away.
Right.
Yeah, and when you look back, do you remember your time during Moi's presidency?
Yeah.
Did you
I remember speaking to Moi on what I remember the President Uhuru during Moi's funeral was giving a speech, a story about how he had pissed off Moi, and then Moi used to call, because Moi had every provincial commissioner's house, I think even DC, they had a red telephone. It was called the hotline.
So you guys had a red telephone in your home?
Yes.
Yeah.
The one that you know.
Yeah. Dial.
Because even these are the ones with the numbers button. Came, but ilibaki tu hivyo, your hotline. And
everything stops in that house.
I think it's like, actually, let me see. It's actually my ringtone. Let me see if I can get it. It's my ringtone. Let me see. Come on. Let me set up settings.
Yeah.
Because it rang exactly like that. So,
I have a theory. That's why you have the ringtone.
Let me see. Yeah, that way.
That's the ringtone.
That's the ringtone.
And when that rang, someone had to answer.
Stops.
Everything stops.
Yes.
Would that be the president himself calling, or his office?
If that phone rings, it is the president on the other line for sure.
Yeah.
There is no hold on for my caller.
Was there an instance where anybody else picked that phone apart from your dad?
No, except for now this one time that I did.
Okay, yeah. So let's go to that story.
Yeah, so it rang. My dad wasn't there. So it rang again. And I was actually just passing. I was like,
how old are you?
I was maybe class 1, 2, 3 thereabout. Was I? I'm not sure.
You're a kid, basically.
I was a kid, though.
Yeah.
I can't remember how old I was. Yeah. But anyway, I picked up the phone. And it goes, hello. And I say, hello. Then he's like, is the busy in? No, he's not. He has not yet come. Okay. Akirudi mwambie Moi alipiga. And I hung up. Mm-hmm. Then my dad comes from work.
Yeah.
No, this time I was slightly older because he was in Kisumu.
Mm-hmm. It was
Nyanza PC. Yeah. So I think I was like class 6 thereabout. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So my dad comes back and says, hey, so how is your day? I'm like, well, I think I spoke to the president. He's like, what? Wait, what did you say? What did you say? No, he called and I did the same imitation.
Yeah.
And he laughed.
Your dad laughed?
Yeah, he laughed. He was like, what? Are you sure that's what you said?
imitated Moi?
Yes.
Yeah.
He asked me, is the busy in?
Yeah.
And I said, no, he's not yet. He said, akirudi mwambie Moi amepiga. But it just be like, even when that phone rings, volumes inarudishwa chini, kila mtu ananyamaza. And my dad goes and sits there.
Yeah.
And I said, yes, Your Excellency. Yes, Your Excellency.
Yeah.
Yes, Your Excellency, what we were saying. He said, na hiyo tutatengeneza.
Yeah.
Tutafanya. Asante sana, Your Excellency. Thank you very much, sir. Asante.
Yeah. You got to give the respect to the man.
Yeah.
Do you, I don't know if you hang around circles of folks talking to Ruto, do you think he gets the same kind of treatment?
No, I don't hang around circles of folks talking to Ruto. I wish people would talk to him, and he listens, though, from what I hear.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if my dad, though, during the Uhuru presidency, and guys would say a lot of, Uhuru really never cared. Like, okay, do see umfanyie nini? He was like, shh.
It was a chill.
So my dad, I think for him, it was like a culture shock, because it was like, he was saying all this mean things about the president. How don't they respect the presidency anymore? And then Uhuru would come and say, nyinyi mnitukane tu hadi asubuhi.
Yeah.
Mimi hata hizo magazeti siku hizi nafunga nayo nafunga nayo nyama.
Yeah.
And my dad would be like, hey,
a different
this
presidency.
This is a different presidency. Back then hauko unaweza kusema vitu kama hizo. So it really made me even realize that ujamaa pia alipitia. Because Moi was like, when he's coming to, I saw stuff happen when my dad was coming to schools to visit and how guys would clean and what. But when Moi would come, guys would like safisha rocks. Kwa shule,
I remember, man, what he's saying, I myself did that.
You did?
I did that. And let me tell you now, whatever is something so interesting. Moi is passing on the highway. He's not passing even in the school. We cleaned the school, cleaned the rocks, painted them white. The rocks were brown. We even changed the color of the rocks. And then we went and waited for the president on the street, on the highway to pass.
Did he wave?
I'm gonna get there. Okay. We even had small calendars. We went and started singing in the morning. So like 8 a.m. or whatever, 9 a.m. or whatever. We are singing there and everybody, something like that. So they're singing. Lunchtime comes, the guy hasn't passed. So we leave, come back to school, have lunch, and then go back to the street, to the highway to wait for the president. And then the president comes. So we are told, my school was the border, a town called Chepilat. So we were told that when he passes a border, he crosses a border from Rift Valley into Nyanza, you normally would stop and he would wave. So we're there, we're singing now with so much psych. We start singing the motorbikes, they're coming. So now the teachers are like, yes, psych. Yeah, I think apparently he used to give money to...
Yes.
Even stop and give you some money.
Yes.
So we're there, we're singing so loudly, and then he comes past, the cars pass, and then somehow we can see his motorcade stops at the very front. So we are back here, we're still singing. And then I think he stood up, out of the sunroof, whatever, moonroof, whatever it was called then, and told them something over there. And that was it, man. We went back home. Whoever was there, the guys who were next to the road at that position.
All right.
Behind. And so it was very underwhelming for me, man, because we were expecting for him to come to school and stuff like that. And I don't know why we used to do that, though. Mbona isikuwe tu kawaida though?
Ilikuwa hiyo, it was a power thing. It needed to be there. It's almost like psyops today. You need to sing songs that praise these guys. So man. National functions, the people are hearing Tawala Kenya, Tawala Raisi Moi. Unaongoza vyema.
Unaongoza
vyema. So these things they get into your mind and into your brain.
You know,
And then, so then you can't, when somebody tells you something like, you can't question.
of course.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think right now to put Ruto in the same song. So, unaongoza vyema, Raisi Ruto, unaongoza vyema. What does that sound like? I mean, I don't know, man. But
Itakuwa Ruto must go. Utasikia hivyo.
Let's imagine, let's paint a picture of folks. Your dad is the PC.
Okay.
I mean, and I think he was meant to maintain law and order in the city
He
or
was
the province.
He was the Mudosi, the chair of the security committee. He was the chair of the education committee. Like, he was the boss.
Yeah. So let's paint a picture. Your dad is provincial commissioner. He's meant to maintain law and order in the province. And then, for some reason, some Gen Zs come up, or Gen Zs of that time. So I don't know, would be maybe not millennials, the baby boomers who are now like in their early teens. They come up and they create some chaos. What would that look like for your dad's, for your dad and for you as a family? What would that be chaotic for you guys at home that evening? Would you be like, no, now today the cousin in Ngumu, so to chill up and
No, actually, come to think of it, my dad never brought his work back home. We never had stories about the office. Maybe some stories about, like, if something interesting happened in the motorcade, or somebody caught the eye of the president, or he did something, but never like, today never had a bad day. The only thing that I do remember when he was in Nyeri, and he, my dad put down Mutudo laws even before there were Mutudo laws. Like, for him, bars were closing at 11 then.
In Central Province?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he was in Central.
Yeah, you see, the businesses there were so mad.
Yeah, there was some articles written in the newspaper about it. So I remember to enforce it, he used to actually leave the house at 11 with the car, the bodyguards, everybody.
Yeah.
And he had this kakabuti, and he goes
driving around to see if
there was. Yeah. So then now he would come with interesting stories about how there was this person who was drunk, and this. Yeah.
Yeah.
But with some of those rides, I would ride along and see just watu wanahepa Mahindra.
Yeah.
Wanaweka kwa Mahindra, watu wanahepa.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was coming from a good place for him at the time, because a lot of the women would come to his office and complain about, my husband is not here, he's spending all this money in Kukunywa. And that's why Kibaki also really fought a lot of alcoholism. And it was in that time, because he was PC during Kibaki's time as well. So, especially in Central, the women are complaining, hata transformer ifanyi, wanakunywa sana. So, but other than that, he never would bring work home. Yeah.
And so what I'm realizing here is there's an image that we used to have of those guys. So I remember one other PC that I remember is Francis Bayer from that time period. And of course, your dad.
And Hussein Haji, the father of...
but I think...
Of Nurdin. So that's we used
never
to
had the
play
experience.
with Nurdin. Because now his dad was PC and I was DC.
Yeah.
My dad was DC.
At the time.
So we were kind of neighbors. So our family sometimes would go and we would borrow cassette tapes.
Yeah.
Looney Tunes and from him.
Yeah. Is Nurdin Haj like the head of public prosecutions right now?
He was, and now he's the head of DCI.
Yeah. So what you're telling me is that if I'm ever in trouble, I can just, reach out, and you can reach out to your boy.
He's more of my brother's boy.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't matter. Reach out to your brother's boy, man. This guy in his podcast said something that rubbed somebody the wrong way. And man, just cut him some slack.
But Nurdin is a stickler for the
law.
Yeah, so I don't know if you have a lot of success with that. But we'll see. Yeah. The funniest thing here is I was even listening to Jimmy Wanjigi sharing your version of the story now. Right,
so you and the Dean's version with Jimmy, it would be him and Uhuru. And who was the other? Gideon, I guess. And they're hanging out in State House or whatever. And they're playing around with rocks and I don't know, in State House. And
I think there's a picture of the late Raila Amolo Odinga carrying Uhuru on his back or something somewhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think
Dave, if you can find that picture, man, put it up.
Yeah,
I would want to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this tells you that these people are just human. They are all human, even in their positions. They are still human, and I guess they enjoy sort of interactions that are normal with any other human being. And, when I think about Moi now, for instance, he created an image that was larger than life. I wasn't there during Kenyatta or the original Kenyatta's time to see what that would be like. But it seems like they were just normal humans. It's only that maybe the because of the environment where they came from, colonialism and all that, it painted them a picture of what leadership or a position of authority should look like. You should be feared, you should be respected, and all that. So when you decide to go into the media industry at that young age, did you ever imagine what the landscape would look like in terms of so that age you have the ability to foresee what the area, the environment in which you are in looks like. But now, at this point, you're thinking of becoming a guy in the media industry.
Right.
Did you ever think that there will be this sort of a clamor for your freedom to speak up, freedom of speech? Was that ever something that crossed your mind? Did you ever think about something like this when you were a kid?
No, I heard it because now as a student, if that's the field you want to go into, you would hear stories about brown envelope and you couldn't say, especially during Moi's time, you couldn't say certain things.
What is brown
for
envelope?
fear of brown envelope is bribes to do a story a certain way.
Yeah, I see.
Or you'd hear stories about how you wouldn't report negatively on the government because Moi had even Mama Mbogas who are DCI.
Yeah.
Like they, guys would say like you'd say something in your bedroom and then the next day, boom, amekujiwa kwa mlango.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a product of Moi himself.
Or a product of the system.
The system.
Yeah.
However, people argue that sometimes the system protects its own and the person knows the system. There is people do make arguments about sometimes the president doesn't know everything because of plausible deniability. But that is true of systems and governments that uphold the rule of law. And so therefore, they would not want the president to know something like this. But in the context where we were,
the rule of law, it was the rule of Moi.
Like, I'll give you an example. If then, imagine back then, like you said, you've said something totally wrong on air.
Wrong being that it is something that was, I was speaking
Not
against
wrong
the
being that
government.
you're speaking against the government.
Or something that is a
That
lie.
you're defending the government, probably, but it's not even defending, but you just do something wrong. Let's not even say you do something wrong. And you're taken to police station.
Yeah.
And it's wrong. You've charged kila kitu booked.
Yeah.
And then you pick up the phone on the other side and you're the OCPD, or back then they were called SSPs. And you hear, nasikia huko na kijana yangu. Yeah? Are you going to say, but no, amefanya makosa? Your Excellency.
Of course you cannot. Wewe utakuwa umefanya makosa.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or you hear it's Biwott who's called you, or somebody else who's called you, or all those people who are feared. So it could happen, maybe it wouldn't happen, it doesn't happen, it depends.
Yeah.
But the way that the system was there, that's how it was. But then again, so these people are feared, they're revered sometimes also because of the people around them.
Yeah.
And how those people make you feel about them and how they're portrayed. Because again, that's what I'm saying, it's mostly psyops and propaganda. And remember when guys used to say, sijui Moi akona jisho moja ya paka, sijui does what? Like there are so many of these things.
Let me tell you one that I used to hear.
That
there's alikuwa amekula kitu fulani yenye simba inatapikanga before ikunywe maji. So there's this thing that apparently when a lion is drinking water, it has to spit the thing and drink water. After it drinks the water, it swallows the thing back. So some game wardens, I guess, would be timing lions when they're going to the watering hole.
Or
I guess you either kill the lion or grab that thing and then Moi eats it. At even his eyes, they come as a macho because of that thing that he used to eat. Man, all those stories, man, that they used to be.
But they make you revere and be afraid of the king.
Yeah.
So you dare not speak against the king.
Yeah.
But then again, I saw a picture, and I'm sure that video is available. Like you said, Mr. Dave, you better find it. There's a video of the last day when Moi was leaving State House and Sally Kosgei were crying, and then now he landed back, I think, at Kabarak.
Yeah.
And Gideon was there, young, with the kids, holding the kids up, and Moi came and he was,
touching
saying hi to his grandchildren and all that. You realize this guy is he's a grandfather, he's a father, he's like, we never really see these people like that.
Yeah.
That doesn't excuse the things they did, of course. But you realize to some people's eyes,
they were just dads.
Yeah, that's it.
But me, I feel bad when I think about the fact that some of the things they did directly led to some people lacking fathers, like losing their dads.
Yes, now that's the thing.
Or, losing their family members, or their children, or, things like those. And I don't know, though, how they used to sleep with, how do you sleep with that at night, though? I mean, is it something that you are slowly as you go along life? Inakuwa tu kitu ya kawaida. I mean, ina happen. Umse ata disappear to from the face of the earth. But somehow I'm happy that we have what we have now. I mean, it's not the best. It's not the best. But it is something.
I think also that some of these things, there's a time that I think, and which is the frailty, I think, of human life and just thought process. Think about it this way. There's a time that sometimes, I mean, you being a dad, right? And sometimes if this thing is, this had hot contents, maybe it was even water.
Yeah.
And your daughter comes, na anataka kuishika. Hata alia aje.
You'll not let
them. And you'll take it away from them because you think or rather you're doing something good for them.
Yeah.
Now, the crazy thing is, sometimes these leaders, they think they're doing these things because we are that little child who is not seeing that this thing is a kuumiza and I got to deal with it the way I know how. And then, but I'm doing it for your sake. Somehow in their mind, they have
that creates a very different perspective.
I don't know if it's a savior complex or whatever, but they feel like I have to do this for you now. You might not see the benefit now, but I'm doing it for you guys. It's not even for me. This affordable housing thing is for me. It's for you guys. It's for you guys. All these things, they in the back of the mind,
they're doing a good thing.
They're doing a good thing.
But you also get to hear stories of, I don't know, they have companies that are supplying, they're supplying this software or supplying cement and steel and stuff like that. And
again, let's use the hot water thing. So your daughter comes. Hii kitu ni moto kwake, hata ikunywa.
Yeah.
But si umechukua kwake. Sasa wewe instead ya kuipoesha ndo akuja akunywe, sasa wewe unaikunywa. And that is what the politicians do.
You're too dangerous.
That's what's happening.
I was hanging out here with a guy by the name of David Osiani.
Yes, sir.
And I was telling him, it seems to me that all politicians somehow become wealthy. Somehow.
In a very short period of time.
Yeah, and it's not only in this country. I look at politicians in America. If you are a senator's kid in the United States, man, you are set for life. Somehow. And yet, apparently in America, it's a working democracy, and it is painted like, there's no shady business going on with the politicians, stuff like that. But then, what David told me? He told me that by the virtue of you being in that position, you are still a human and you probably have businesses that go on. But because now you are in that position, business starts coming to you because people want to be associated with you. Now, if you are looking for a certain deal, or a certain business venture, you can easily find the number of the guy who was, who you wanted to supply stuff to, and you just give it, pick it up and call them. Hey, you know what? I'm the one who wants to supply steel there, and because they revere you and they want to be associated with you, they say, okay, yes, sir, yes, Mr. Raburu, you can bring us the steel or the cement and stuff like that. But I still say that I think. That is unfair. It's unfair because you are at a position where you have an advantage of power.
And you're locking out somebody who probably would
do the same thing or do it even better.
But then again, you are thinking, I'm trying to get my children to be set up for life. But then there are other ways you can do it. You can actually still do legitimate business and set up your people for life.
Yeah.
Or kama unataka kufanya biashara, si uachane na hiki uende ufanye tu biashara basi.
And you still make
it, yeah.
I was listening to Jalango say how much money they spend in campaigns. You are probably going to become MP one day, or senator one day.
I might even be president at this rate because, this country requires my urgent attention.
And the amount of money that is spent on those campaigns, man, is humongous.
Yeah, the IBC actually put a cap. It's supposed for presidential campaigns. It's supposed to be your cap is $5 billion.
There's a cap now.
Yeah, it's $5 billion.
But the cap is not follow. I mean, it's
everybody has a cap. America has a cap, but then they use lobby groups.
Yeah,
right?
Somehow to navigate.
What do you call those super? What do you call them? Super PACs. Yeah, to raise money. I think that's what you call them. Yeah.
But also, I think that maybe in Kenya we should move away from people using their own money to run campaigns.
Yes. So what people should do, well, and it will be the best. Come to think of it, it would be the best way to judge if you are candidate is going to do well, because you can start like a GoFundMe. and a group of people come together and you're fundraising for this person.
Yeah.
But then the catch is, we're going to give you this money, but we need you to tell us exactly how you're going to spend it. So if you say, I need to print 1,000,000 t-shirts.
Yeah.
Get 3 people who are suppliers of these t-shirts, pick the right quality one, and then let's have 3 invoices. Like the way people.
Yeah.
But what happens normally is this thing of using a lot of money during your campaign. Even like you said, at the end of the day, these people are human.
Yeah.
Not justifying what they do, but if you spend 20 mic, for example, on a campaign. So by the time you're being sworn in, you're minus 20 mic.
So you gotta make it back.
So you
man.
start saying, "Hey, gotta make back this money.
Yeah.
Let me make this." So it dilutes your sense of integrity to some extent.
Yeah.
Starting with a minus 20. But if you came and it's a community thing and you're driving and you had actual people to help you and the people really love you, you get to serve the people. And I also feel like sometimes people become politicians in Kenya, not because they want to serve the people, but because politicians are like our celebrities.
Yeah.
They're the ones who are getting away with things. They're the ones with the flash cars and the good drives and the 3 wives and all these kind of things, right? So people say, like, that's why I want to become a politician, because I want to be able to get rich and to get away with stuff. And I want to be able to, when I call, when the police are ananishika vibaya, naambia unajua mimi nimeshua.
Yeah.
So there's some caution. So, and in a system that would be working where police are actually just doing their jobs and the government has made it whereby we're able to do good business and just get our returns and we're not under an oppressive tax regime type of thing, then people would actually then want to serve because they want to serve. They want to make things better. They want to make sure that you have drugs in the hospital, you have food on your table, you have a business, you can start a business and thrive in any space, especially even the digital space. You can
do anything. And you can move on.
And you can move on, yeah.
It's the way that people, move to some of these Western countries and they say, I'm chasing the American dream.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if we have a Canadian dream, but I guess it would be the equivalent version of the American dream.
Yeah.
So I want to hear about the Kenyan dream. The point here being that some people believe that, and it's possible to achieve this. You go to to America with nothing, you become anything you want to be, maybe apart from president, but literally you can become anything
Kenyan
else.
Did Obama? I'm kidding. He was the closest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can become anything you want to be.
Yeah.
When I look at my friends here, the people we went to school with, sometimes I feel like it's just luck that I was born in a different family from them, because we had the same opportunities, we had the same upbringing. Went to the same schools, went to the same, kind of education system, church or whatever. But somehow me and some of my friends are in totally different trajectories of life. And I could imagine probably the same for you and maybe some of the folks watching us right now. And I think that is because of the way the system is set up, the way the government is set up. Somehow you will work so hard, man. You've seen guys who've gone to school. You're a bright guy. You went to good schools. So some of your classmates had very good grades.
Right.
But I can promise you some of them are languishing in poverty right now.
Yeah.
Because despite of the good grades, going to universities, becoming actuaries or becoming, I don't know, whatever, lawyers or whatever, they still can't make ends meet because of, things that are not working. But I think that Willis, you and, people like you are in a position to, sort of create this change.
Okay.
I just hope that when you finally land that power, that ability.
You're like, let me play him back this. He said this a couple of years ago. Put it in remembrance. Yes.
But I think you if we have enough good people who are believing in the right things to be done, I mean, there's a point where some people agitated for some things to happen, so democracy, for multipartyism, and people agitated for that and it happened. Why can't we believe that if we agitated for a good economy, that could also be possible?
There is power in the people, and not to be seen to incite, but it's true. I mean, it's the opening line of the Constitution, right? The people shall.
Yeah.
May, optional. But it's there in the Constitution. And I think if people just go back to the rule of law and the basics, I think we'd go really far as a country.
Yeah.
And if people also realize that they have the power. You see, that's the other thing. What the cycle that is a lot of African governments, the system is built to wear you out.
Yeah.
to show you that no matter how much you clamor, no matter how much you make noise, an 82, 92-year-old guy is still going to be elected president. No matter how many young people there are in this country. No matter how much you make noise online, etc., and it's very valid to make noise online. And there has been some change that has come from people mobilizing online, Mandaman and all these things. But you still have a regime where candidate number 1 on the paper is Suluhu, candidate number 2 is Suluhu, candidate number 3 is Suluhu. So the systems are built to try to wear you out. The key is not to get tired.
Yeah.
The key is to keep clamoring, to keep pushing, to keep showing up, and to just know that one day change is going to come.
We have a neighboring country where the president is 86 years old.
Yeah.
And I remember him telling people a few months or maybe a few weeks ago, on November 27th, whatever date it is, come out in large numbers and vote for me.
Right.
I still have great things I want to do for this country. Man, this guy has been in power since 1980. Maybe it's not 86, but he's in power since 1986.
Right.
All those things that you haven't done, man, for those years. What is this one thing that you want to do right now?
Talk about at the Gen Zs told me they still need me. Dude, come on.
You still need me.
We can't be waiting for national selection to take out people.
Yeah.
You need to be at... First of all, I think now we need to move to a place then. You see the way... If certain things are not in law, by now, I tell you, even in America, Obama would have run again. And you just say, you know what, enough is enough. But because imeandika after umefanya term zako mbili, that's it. Huwezi.
Yeah.
Because it's written after umefanya term zako mbili, huwezi. Joho cannot go back to be governor of Mombasa or governor of anywhere. Peter Anyang' Nyong'o, professor, cannot. He's done 2 terms.
Yeah.
So now it also needs to be an age cap.
Yeah.
Just the same way they say that youth in Tanzania up to 35. There needs to be a law that says age ya kukua president mwisho is 65.
Is that your final number, 65?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. I think 65, man. Because like I think retirement age is 65, right?
Yes.
So how are people retiring at 65 getting pension? Na wewe
ndio unataka kuenda
kwanza. Show up.
Ndio unataka kuanza saizi, man.
Na wengine wana retire.
Yeah.
How is a system you are governing, right? You are the president of a country that has that kind of rule. You have a whole retirement benefits authority.
Yeah.
That is, among other things, giving people pension and whatever, and pension schemes and all this stuff, that from 65, that even health insurance, from 65, there are other different packages that come. Then why should the leader of a country, even you American Biden, wow.
Yeah. And the current guy.
And the current guy, man, come on, yo. There should be a cap. And this will then encourage, once you have a cap, then it encourages other people to kind of come and take this thing. It encourages, you see younger people in their 40s, 30s, even 20s, trying to come up and take a stab at this thing.
Yeah.
You'll see more people embracing change. And then you'll see these people who are now over 25 take sort of a back seat.
Yeah.
And become states. That would be the ideal. Become patriotic statespeople and say, hey, man, I can offer my expertise when I'm called upon.
Yeah.
To do certain things. I can guide you people now on how I feel things should be done.
Yeah.
And man, if you're 65 and you've been in power, after, uko sawa. Utakuwa tu sawa. You kula tu pension yako sasa, ride your sunset years, because hata stress inakuishia kwa akili. Because you at 65, 70, you're not supposed to be stressing over, wanajaribu kunifunga. Let's get a Bitcoin. So that we put it in my name, so that then I make so much money that by the time I teach, I've already made it here in Bitcoin. Let me get this guy who owns this social media platform to kind of back me up.
Yeah.
So that we can get this coin and,
Have you seen the way Obama is enjoying his retirement?
Man, easy. He even has a bounce in his step.
He's like,
hey, man. How's everybody doing? What's going on? Hey.
I just saw him coming out of, I think it was in the UK the other day, or maybe, last week, since this episode is dropping on Thursday next week. So he was in the UK and he was coming out of this building. I think he was giving some talk. Yes, something called, I think, the Obama something. I forgot what it's called, the president. An evening with President Obama, something like that. And so he was coming out of the building and he was getting into his car, man. And he just walks out. He's so graceful, man. And he's like, this guy is retired. He's doing podcasts.
He's doing a lot of podcasts.
He's doing books. He's writing books. He's showing up in
Did you see the one where he was saying hi to Al Sharpton?
I don't know. I haven't
You look
seen
for that with videos.
Yeah.
He walks out, he's with Michelle. He goes, hey, man. And it goes like, boom. So strong, so...
Oh,
man, you can tell this guy is enjoying himself. And it's still, and you see, for him, you still, because some people normally say that you don't, of course, there's that power where I'm the president, therefore, presume and pigia. But still, you'll still have your security, your, the trappings of power. You still have, because you're now a national asset, we have to guard you, secure you, get your drivers, get your cooks, get your house, get your allowances and all these things. Bado uko nazo. So usiogope.
Yeah, true.
Bado uko nazo. Bado ukienda utatumia VIP kwa airport. Kama uko na ndege yako utapanda ndege yako. You know, so you just be, and then, so you imagine you're still, and then that title doesn't leave.
Yeah, it stays with you forever.
Yeah, you're the president.
Yeah,
people
man.
still say President Carter, President Obama, former President Obama.
What do you think is better? Leaving office rich or living a country that actually works?
Living a country that works. And that will make, and you know, sometimes these people are afraid of retiring because of the things that they have done.
Yeah.
Because then they'll be held to account. So they need the power to survive.
Yeah.
But if you've done your part and there's nothing wrong you did, then you can leave and just chill. Look at even Uhuru.
Yeah, man.
I mean, he's just chilling.
The guy is so happy. I think he's another Obama.
Yeah,
he's just...
amechill tu anakatoa. Acha nikae hapa, nikae na hika kitu hapa, tuseme tu ni maji guys. Nikae hapa na Uburu, let's mourn my friend who's passed. Just chill. I can stay an extra day.
Yeah, man.
I don't have to go anywhere, you know.
I think the guy is just enjoying life.
Yeah.
The guy feels bad for his Sarkozy. Have you seen what happened
to him?
Man.
I saw him
going to prison.
To start his term. Yeah,
his jail time, man.
But you see, that also sets that precedent that I was talking about.
Yeah.
Because you need to know that can happen. As a country.
Yeah.
France now, all the other presidents will be like,
even though gonna end up.
I don't want to end up like that guy.
Yeah.
So what you need?
Let me talk.
Even Macron say, ooh, right, okay, all right, let's try to fix this thing, because you never know. Yeah, you don't want to be that. That absolutely ruins your legacy.
Of course.
Absolutely. So it's gone. Man, that's it.
But I feel bad for him, man. I think, and I think he's appealing the term, and I think they're saying that maybe they will give him an custodial sentence. But I don't know what that does to you as a person, though, man. Because I think Mwafrika says that he said he was told by his uncle who went to prison. He says it in Luo. If you can translate this to Luo, it would be lovely. Anybody who takes you to prison does the worst to you. How would you say that in Luo?
Ngamateri jela. Koro wacha na do kosoni malich. Koso you need a deeper word, eh?
Yeah, I guess I don't know. Man, because I think prison is the one place you just don't want to be.
Yeah.
Because you're stripped of your dignity first of all, but then also your freedom. Can you imagine? We just can't sit. We just can't go out to Art Cafe and have, like whatever, coffee or whatever, man.
And you're in the same place, right? Routine is unatoka, unaenda hapo kwa yard, maybe uinue chuma, ukule, ulale. Every day, that's it. Haoni nje, you don't know what's going on. You can't just oh man, that's crazy.
It's crazy, man.
We take for granted some of those things. Like I can just leave all the way from where I was to come and do this podcast.
Yeah.
On the way I can stop. Like I can think, let me stop here. Now kuna traffic. Ni stop. Let me get into this restaurant. Traffic ishe. I can walk. I can go to see the ocean, see people, go visit your parents, your folks, hang out with your kids. But here kuna ni wewe tu na your cell blockmate.
And I think that's the essence of freedom here, having the freedom to think. Because I even think that the fact that you decided to go back to school, for your master's and hopefully now for your PhD, it is because you have that freedom to even fathom that it is reachable. It is something that but what made you decide to go back to school for a master's in the first place?
It was actually in 2020, but I'd been thinking about it for a long time.
Yeah.
But the thing had been, how am I going to balance
work? And,
work and that. Then COVID happened. Then now the online classes. Yeah, but also, what happens sometimes when you're a celebrity and you're in the media space or any space, you're in a bubble. So the cameras are manned. You're doing a show. You finish a show. Your cameraman tell you, "Yeah, man, great job. That was great." In the WhatsApp group, you did it again, Willis. My man. And yes, you've done a great job. But your life all of a sudden becomes just that.
Yeah.
You and your media friends and in your media space, and you're not thinking outside of the box because again.
Do you think it sort of becomes like you're like in a can and your sound just reflects off that tank, and it's like you're in a sounding board. So sound just gets to the end of the tank or the board and then just come back to you.
Just comes back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. Or even like, you remember like when, what do they call those places like in COVID? I think when the athletes used to go.
Quarantine.
Yes, like areas. A bubble or something.
Yeah,
whereby bashatestiwa sasa huwezi toka kwa hii area.
Yeah.
So we are just here, 62 of like-minded people.
Yes.
And so unless you're very deliberate about it, it does something to your way of thinking. And especially if you want to be, and even like now you've seen what China is saying, like you can't just talk about anything, you have to have a degree and all that stuff.
You know, guys, let me tell you, this coin that I'm giving you is going to make you rich.
Yes.
But I don't have a degree in finance.
That's right. So, as you're doing this, and for me, because of the area that I'm going and even thinking about these things with Wabebe and the digital platforms and everything, I just wanted to say, what are people actually saying about this? What are the experts saying? What is it that I don't know? I might be theorizing. I remember when I wrote my first concept note for my thesis and I presented it, and one of the lecturers, the professor, said, Willis, if this was a story that you were telling us, oh man, this would be a great story.
Amazing story.
Amazing. But again, that's exactly what you're telling us. You're just telling us stories, your thoughts.
Yeah.
You're not yet published. You're not an author. You're not there's no academic writing you've done. So for now, why don't you use what people have said about your topic to develop your thoughts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like sort of a literature review.
Right. Literature review. Right. So for me, it helped, man. I learned so much, even just about my own self and even just about things that behavior change and monitoring and evaluation. And also it's important because now you see you're in the room with different people from different walks of life. You have people in the NGO world, people in government, people also in the media. So you get to understand how they think, how they reason, and how people even in the corporate, how they think, how they reason, and the important processes in there and what their direct needs are. And then also just refreshing, it's just refreshing to have people who have a different opinion and a different view in life. So sometimes school is yes for the paper and for the knowledge, but it also opens you up to a new way of thinking, opens you up to also respect your fellow person. You know, you would be there and you're thinking, I'm a comedian, I'm a celebrity, I know everything. You know nothing, Jon Snow.
So there's a quote that I normally say here. It is dangerous to know a lot, but not know enough to know that you don't know it all. And I think...
Well, damn. Say that again.
It is dangerous to know a lot, but not know enough to know that you don't know it all.
Wow.
And I think you were in a position... That's why I'm saying that you are smart and dangerous at the same time, because you knew that you don't know everything.
Yeah.
You need to go out there and get more. And I think I still sense the same sort of attitude in your spirit, because you're still saying that you're still not done with school. You still want to go back probably, and still, continue pushing this, this achievement forward.
Right.
But when then you get to school, do you think that school actually gave you what you're looking for? Did it give you more, or was it underwhelming, or did it give you less?
No, I think it gave me more than actually. I left with more than I bargained for. And I also got to understand why people fuss about the titles, doctor, professor. Because, man, come on, master's Nika, is that's a doctorate. Man, I tell you what, you better call me doctor.
I was in a church recently, and this lady is apparently a professor. And she was there at the front, and she was saying, so we were raising, this money was raising money for building a property or buying a property, one of those. So she says, when you send that money to the M-Pesa account, the M-Pesa pay bill, the account number, right, Professor XYZ. I'm like, why did you have to put Professor there? Couldn't you just say XYZ? I've never understood why we always have this clamor for that title. It's
a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and then it also, because for example, if now I'm in my master's stage and I want to develop what I've done into doctorate level, what it does is it helps you become published, and then you can do policy papers and all these things. So it allows you to directly affect your sphere of influence directly. Then it also gets into places where now you can help change things in terms of from a policy standpoint.
Yeah.
And I think also just the hard work that comes with it. Man, I'm telling you, doing the thesis and going back and forth, getting everything right, I can imagine only what it is like to do now like a doctorate. And that's why hata huko mbele kwa graduation hao ndo wanaanzishwa wanapanda pale hivyo wanakaa chini wanavalishwa vitu.
Yeah.
Naona?
The PhDs there, the graduation for PhDs here though are more elaborate than they are in North America. In North America, we don't get all that recognition. Maybe the only thing they'll read is the title of your thesis, your dissertation. After that, everything else is just
hapa wanasoma Dr. in future. Dr. Willis Raburu.
Yeah.
He did a study on digital transformation and in legacy media.
Yeah.
In Nairobi. So I'm still working.
And then your
up.
supervisors.
Then I sit. Yeah, I'm worked up by my supervisors. I sit. Nawekewa kale ka nini. Navalisha kofia yangu.
Yeah.
Then I stand. I go and pick my book from the VC.
Yeah. Take a photo.
Hey!
Yeah. That's
Can't
a lot,
wait, man.
Can't
wait.
You've said something here about all the work that you put in for your masters.
Yes.
You have a certain leader in this country who worked so hard, got his master's. And then he worked even harder, got his PhD in agricultural systems or botany or something like that.
Yes.
And then now he recently heard that he got enrolled in Open University of Kenya for a master's in AI. I don't know if you've heard that.
I've heard that, yes.
I mean, where do you think the guy got the time to work on his PhD? His first master's is PhD and now his other master's. And yet he's, working so hard in office too.
His master's, I think, California, because he was deputy president. Hakukuwa na kazi mingi sana. But
he still had a chicken farm to run.
Well,
a family
you got people who can do that for you.
Okay.
But with these things, though, and this is not in any way defending him, for some of these things, you find the time.
Yeah.
But my question is, having gone through the process, sasa imagine sasa wewe ni supervisor. Mwenye amekaa hapo ni deputy president, amekuja kudefend thesis yake.
They stopped him the first time though. I don't know if you heard that. So the first time he came he wanted to defend it, they told him it doesn't meet the threshold. So he had to go back again I guess do something for the second iteration of his to graduate during the second iteration or something.
That might have been the case. But in this world of ours of communication and PR, it could as well have been an elaborate PR gesture.
Yeah.
Lazima waonyeshe kwamba hii kitu ni fair. Usikuje tu round 1. Umempitisha kwa sababu tu ni deputy president. Sawa. But now those teachers in that place have a chance to say, kama turudisha deputy president, wewe ni nani?
Rudi fanya hiki tena. But you see, something that even becomes interesting is when some of my friends tell me that they have bribed their way through their schooling, so through their master's or PhD. And I feel so sad then for the education system because we produce, we will, in the academic world, then we will look, you have your accolades, but they look questionable,
Yeah.
And it's even sad because even right now still I think we have a very good undergrad system and high school system and all that. But sometimes you go through undergrad here, you get your your papers in media or in engineering or in education. You go to some of these Western countries, man, they tell you got to go back to school, man. It's like they don't recognize your papers. I have so many friends actually in North America who came there. Some of them came as doctors. They were doctors here and then moved there. Or they were, something else. They were teachers, they were accountants. But you get over there, man, you can't be employed in anybody's hospital, accounting firm, or school. And so they end up doing, whatever is available so they can pay their bills and, send black tax back home or whatever. And I feel sad when that happens. And even sadder when, some of this news starts percolating out here that, sometimes you can just bribe your way, out through the system. But I think the school that you went to is apparently notorious for being a stickler to rules and making sure that people...
that is the United States International University Africa, with an affiliate of the United States University in the United States. Hence the name.
Is there a USUS, United States University?
It's actually
in the United States?
the parent university.
Oh.
Yeah. And there's sometimes there's exchange programs that you could do. And even even our degrees, they take some time to come because they have to go and get the official seal from there. Then they're sent back here. But
so your degree basically was on an airplane first class to the United States.
That's true. No, you're right. And I think that's also because some of them are recognized, but then there are also some that I think if you do it in some certain, because of the grading systems, I guess there's also normally a problem with the grading systems.
Yes.
But over the years, they've tried to work on that. Over the years, both public and private universities have tried to work on that, and also try to have partnerships with universities,
American universities,
universities, and just so that then they can, do that kind of exchange kind of program. And then most of the lecturers these days who are here have done stints also in those other countries, or they're done their PhDs and
there.
So then they have connects and they can help. So over time it's changed, but then back then it was bad. Katibado lazima you TOEFL. Test of English as a foreign language.
Yeah.
Lazima ufanye SAT. Hey.
Yeah, there was also ACT, and I think they have IELTS.
Yes, IELTS. IELTS I think is still being offered, right?
Yeah, international.
Something like that.
IELTS. What does it stand for even? International English Language Testing System, something like that.
Yeah.
And people do that.
Yeah.
So as we've been having a chat with you, there's something you mentioned here and there. You've thrown it a little bit.
Yeah.
And you've called it therapy. So you said that you went for therapy because, to deal with your personality, which was
being
introverted, and being a quiet guy.
But that was not the only reason I went for therapy, but yeah. I went to therapy when I was going through my divorce and I was going through my child loss.
Yeah.
That's when the first time I did therapy actually is when I came back from Somalia. When I was in the forefront, when I was a reporter, and we were embedded with the Kenyan Army for Operation Linda Inchi, which was Kenya's military incursion into Sudan. Into Somalia. So that's the first time I went for therapy because it was quite the experience over there. And coming
what did
back,
you see?
I don't even know if I'm allowed, but I saw a lot to talk about it. But I did see a lot of just what it takes to be in the field. The mental capacity, or rather what it does to your mental being there. I mean, being far from home, sometimes being attacked by the Al-Shabaab, injuries, deaths, and all of that. So it was quite the experience. And then also the constant, gunshots and IEDs and all these things.
Were you scared at all?
I was absolutely scared.
Every day,
man. I always say that was the closest time the closest I was with God was that time. Man, we used to speak every 10 so minutes. I hope unakumbuka niko hapa. You don't. Forgive me for my sin 5 minutes ago, just in case you come now.
Or just in case I come
now.
I live here now.
This could be it.
Yeah,
so that's the first time I started therapy. Then after that, now I went for therapy now during my divorce and child loss and just to deal with all those things happening. And the grief of losing both. So during that time also is when now I got to dig more into myself. And to what are the things that cause me to act in certain ways. And also, not speak out, be quiet, kukubali kunyanyaswa, and things like that. So it goes really down to the root of who you are. And I'd recommend therapy for anybody. It just helps you unpack. Most of the time, this is in no way to disregard what therapists do because it's very important. The answers are more or less within you.
Yeah.
What the therapist does is that they give you, you know how Google Maps works? They say, hey man, we want to get you to this destination of wholeness. And it's going to take you 5 sessions, maybe more. And so depending on how you go through it, now this says, we found a faster route.
Yeah.
So now it says, okay, so now now that you're doing better, we can now go this way.
Yeah.
Or let's just go. And it always keeps on reminding you again, just like Google Maps, there's a 30-minute congestion on your route, but you're still on the fastest route, and you will arrive at this time. So it kind of just helps you go through life. But by the end of therapy, you'll find that you had the answers within you, and that even the things that you're doing now, you can trace them back.
Yeah.
So it's very important to go for therapy as an individual and also as a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even for, I find that these days more and more parents are taking their children to therapy, especially like if your kid is young and they've lost their grandfather or you've lost your partner and they've lost a father or a mother, they also need some level of therapy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've seen many men saying that they can deal with, for example, losing a partner.
Right.
By themselves. So what gave you even the mental acuity to think that you can go for therapy? Why couldn't you even just decide to deal with it by yourself? Is it somebody who told you that, or? Well,
yes, our work suggested it at the time, but also I kept just thinking that, hey man, this is a little bit too much.
Were you dealing with it in another way?
Yes, I was drinking a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I was drinking a lot. Just here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was drinking a lot, and what that would do, it would be like a pause button. So it pauses your pain and anxiety, but then when you wake up with your hangover, you're like,
I still gotta go back.
Yeah. Damn. So I was drinking a lot, man. I would literally leave the office, go buy 2 or 3 botis, come home. Drink one, peke yangu, neat. Then I'll start feeling wobbly, nini. Sometimes mixed, and I also used to stress eat.
Yeah.
So I have this fried bucket of chicken, eat it, nini, binge watch, just stay home. I was just like, but now it was getting too much for me because now when I started having suicidal thoughts, that I was like, hey, all right, I need to get
So you
help.
decided yourself. I mean, at that point, when you're getting suicidal thoughts especially, you were like, okay, this is going too far.
Yes, but even though when I was actually in therapy, I would still get those thoughts.
Okay.
So then I would call my therapist, and then my friends would always come and check. Literally, I had my friends come to check in on me. Like, they would do like shifts. So this guy comes, and anakana mimi after, mwingine anakuja anakana mimi usiku. So you also do need a sort of a community of close people around you who you can trust, who you can be vulnerable and open to.
Yeah.
But I think also I had gone through, and this is in no means because some people have gotten help in that way, but I had gone to zile za church pia.
Yeah. Therapy ya church ama kuongelesha tu pastor?
Kuongelesha pasi. Na pasi, saa zingine anakuongelesha na
Angle fulani.
Angle fulani yenye si theta. Ni angle lingine tu hapo inakaya udu. Angle tu mbaya.
Yeah.
And because they're human anyway. And so I just decided, okay, I will take what you're saying, which is great. And you have a point there. In somewhere in there, the delivery might have been wrong, but you have a point.
Yeah.
So let me just go to like somebody and who is a professional.
Yeah. But why do you think very many men, I could be wrong by saying very many men, but a good chunk of men, probably me included, shy away from going to therapy?
I think it's because growing up, men have been told or treated as the solution finders. So for you, going to therapy is giving up your power. Like, yani kitu mnishinda nimeenda therapy. While you're not seeing that the therapy is actually helping you to get back to your seat of power, because having power means you're in control of yourself, your senses, and you can see your magnetic north, so to speak. My brother always told me that prayer is a weapon, but therapy is a strategy. So even as you're praying, that's the weapon. That's what you're going to use. That's what you're going to draw out in the field. But when you're trying to mark where you're going to draw it out, how you're going to draw it out, and to the extent of which you're going to go into the battlefield, that's now what therapy helps. It's like a guidance map. I mean, again, think of it like Google Maps. It tells you that's the destination, but it might take some time, but we're going to get there. So most men shy just because they're going to lose the power. And because sometimes also in the past, traditionally, especially for couples, traditionally, not traditionally, but for a long time, it had been that the women are taking you to therapy as a punishment. Nimemleta. Huyu anafanyanga hivi. Anakuanga hivi. So you feel like unaenda kwa headmaster. Unaona?
And sometimes maybe the therapist might be trying to kind of make it objective. But it's kind of pushed in that direction.
Yes, sometimes even the therapist is trying to make it objective, but umukina nyumbani, kwa sababu ulisikia kitu therapy lazima, nakwambianga. Nakwambianga unakuanga hivyo, na usiki. Na kama na baba yako alikuwa anakusumbua ukiwa mdogo, you know. So using some of the things that the man has gone through to hurt them. And some men have been vulnerable at some point, and they've also gotten hurt. So they're just afraid of vulnerability, because to them, vulnerability equals getting hurt. So that's why I think that but they should embrace it. They should go for it, because give it about 4-5 sessions, even 6. Give it about some sessions. No, ufikirie tu, utasikia. And you might go there, even let's say with an addiction, for example. But the first few sessions will not even be about that addiction. Just, they might just want to, because they have to get to know you so they can map out and see where the patterns are and how did we get to this addiction. What is the root cause of it? Because if we don't deal with the root cause of this addiction, this problem, whatever it is, if we don't get to the root, then it's just superficial. And you're not going to solve anything. But if you allow them to go deep in there and do the digging, the digging, then man, you come out, it will be hurtful, it will be painful, it's not easy. Also look in the mirror. It's not easy, but it is worth it at the end of the day.
But when you're going through all this, man, I remember some people are very senseless. I mean, but you've been, I told you, you've been quoting controversy for a while, and my imagination would be that you are immune to jabs being thrown at you, and being trolled or being negative comment being made on social media or Twitter spaces or stuff like that. What would you say? Would there be a way that you would advise anybody to deal with online bullying? Let me call it online bullying, because I think you're going through something here, and some people are just not sensible enough. So how did you deal with that, the bullying?
I think over my years, I've been told enough time, bullied enough times. I like to try to be a little bit objective and see what maybe a couple of people are saying, because inside of all of that, there might be some people who are making sense. I like, criticism that has a point is something. But most of it is not really constructive. It's just, sometimes it's just the mentality of the crowd. So I come and say that this cup is black. You know very well this cup is, the top part is gray. But because there's a previous post that I said that it's black and it's gotten 20 likes and people are replying with emojis laughing. Even you say, by the way, hata you're black and kama black ya giza. Hey! It's okay, now start coming in. So you're not even thinking about this person. You're just trying to boost your own ego and what by other people also responding, liking your comment. So that's why it's nowadays it's very hard for me to have a bad day because of social media bullying. Because I realize that, number one, again, Kenyans are going through a lot of problems, a lot of things are going on, and sometimes they need an outlet. Sometimes
the only outlet is you.
Sometimes you become that outlet.
Okay, give me my gloves. I'm going to get my outlet.
Let's go. So there is that one. Secondly, not everybody is sensible. Third, the way I think about a comment is not the same way the person who wrote it thinks about it. So this person will say, Willis, when him jinga, and go along with their day.
Yeah.
But mimi I'll sit there and say, yeah, I'm mjinga, kama mimi ni mjinga. Ama nimefanya nini? But you find that mtu asha post ameenda probably like watu wametoka hata kwa space ya wifi. Sasa hata yuko hivyo. But then you also realize that the people who troll you are mixed. You know, some people always say this thing but unakasirika na mtu anakutroll sijui ati ako kwa bed sitter pahali. There is nothing against bed sitters. People started in bed sitters.
Yeah.
But it's just that if they're trolling you and having some sort of
satisfaction?
Yes. Or that they are trying to portray a certain image of themselves as they trolled you being there, then that is the problem.
Yeah.
But there are people who troll you and they are sleeping in Runda, Kari,
Yeah.
5-star hotels, but they're trolling you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all there. There are people who have pseudonyms that are trolling you. So for me, these days, hey man, ni ngumu sana. Especially if it's directed to me. These days I've developed a kind of and there's a minute to man, something is going to happen. And you'll forget about this in a short while. And it always happens. Think about it. If I remind you of some certain controversies that has happened now, you'll even be shocked that they happened.
Yeah.
The way those people have moved on past those things. Yeah. And one time I was speaking to Reverend Julian Kula.
Yeah.
And I was trying to make a very important decision in my life at the time. And he told me, think about it this way, Willis. In 5 to 10 years, will people even be looking back at this thing? And when they look back at it, if it's that big of a deal, what will they be saying about you? Will they be saying, hey man, that guy went through so much and look at him now, he's doing much better, he's great. Or will they still be stuck up on that thing?
Most probably they won't be stuck.
Probably they won't be stuck up on the thing. Especially if it's not like, okay, you know, if you commit a crime, now that's different.
Yeah.
You know, if it's something egregious, that's different.
Yeah.
But if it's online bullying or you did small stuff,
Yeah.
we're not going to think about that. And sometimes I say this like T.I. said it always. I always say, if you live for the cheers, you'll die for the booze.
Yeah.
These people who are cheering you right now, everyone's ni mnoma, boss ni mkali. Aya. Kitu kidogo tu happen. Na nilijuanga tu msichana.
Siku yake itafika.
Nilijua. Sometimes there are people who type congratulations on a message, but they're like, congratulations. Yeah. But you are really like, hey, wow, how many congratulations? Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're not. So just learn to take things with a piece of salt. Look for the people who matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. If the people whose comments matter in your life, if my dad picks up and says, hey man, I think this and this is happening. If my partner picks up and says, hey man, I think you should change this and this. I don't think that was the right thing to do.
Then
cool. If my mentors do that, if the people who their voice matters say that, then okay, let's have a discussion.
Yeah.
But if you've come from the blue, you don't know me, you don't want to get to know me, you've just shown up and your comment is based on hearsay and this one thing, then why am I going to spend my time to think about what you're saying? Because what you're saying only matters to you.
True.
It doesn't matter to me. It shouldn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Because you've made that decision not based out of fact. And you can have your own opinions, but you can never have your own facts.
Yeah.
And for you to know facts, you have to know me. Then you can make an objective. Okay. But you see the way social media is, people don't get to have to sit down with you and say, oh, okay, Willis.
Yeah.
What is your side of the story? We don't have that time. Will you be DMing everybody to say, okay, guys? You'll start coming back and now going live and say, okay, guys, now this is the side of my story.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of time that we sometimes don't have. Yeah.
And, maybe sometimes I think it's important for, folks to be gentler. Would that be something? I mean, if you could make a bad comment, but be gentle, because sometimes the people that you're writing these things to are just human. I mean, they probably didn't even make they didn't even make a mistake. They were just doing their work, and we all make mistakes.
Yeah.
I think sometimes just being gentle is helpful.
Yes, I think we need to be careful. And consider that person, but it's mine, bro. It's very rare because you realize people have, for example, sometimes people you get mad at me for 10 over 10 because they see, and this is not the truth and this is not the position, but they see like this guy goes on TV to laugh and be happy and just get in speed. I have to deal with 3 angry bosses. I have to take 3 buses to get to the work, I have to ask and remind my boss to pay me so that I get paid. So they already have this notion about me. Yes, they're happy they're doing the show, but they have this notion about me already.
Yeah.
So by the time it gets to a point where they've seen Nikama Ameanguka, they're on there, want to inject.
Yeah.
Because they feel like, now I can one-up this guy, you know. But if they haven't taken time to know what exactly went into even being me or even being on that show or producing that show or editing and, just doing the show. They didn't take that.
My imagination is that there's a lot that goes into any show whatsoever.
Right.
Any simple show that you see out there, and even building 10 over 10 to the level that it was at, there was a lot of building blocks that had to be done in your life personally. Of course, your crew and the entire technical team that was working on the thing. And so by the time something is coming out, man, I think giving acknowledgement to whatever was created or the process behind the creation of that thing in the first place is always important. But we almost never see the background. It's like the way they paint an iceberg as a picture of success. They paint an iceberg.
Yeah.
Below the ocean, there's all the bad things that go on, and then at the tip up here, the very tiny thing is
That's
what you see.
Yeah.
Man. And I think giving credit to, man, all the work that you've done. I'm very proud of, all the work you've done. I sometimes I even think that in the media space, I'm not sure I'm even going to be able to do a quarter of the things that you're going to do, because Wabebe is going to be a very big platform.
Well, thank you very much. But you can do it too.
Do I have the strength though? Because you have the strength. You have the acuity, and I told you are very both sharp and very, like what I say, dangerous, because you are very sharp and smart, educated and all. And I mean, that's just to give you credit, and thank you for being willing to reply to my DM.
No.
Guy, the way Willis got here today, do you reply to all your DMs, by the way?
I try to set some times, not all because some of them are crazy, but I try to set some time normally and just
reply to
to some of them that I can get to and see what is it about, because sometimes I've gotten and I like generally meeting people and people who are doing different things and that who can show it. You could be told, somebody could tell you like, I'm this idea to now you 500 bob ni, which is okay. Sometimes you've been pressed, you just need that 500 bob. But then there are more people who would say that somebody says, hey, I've done this. And therefore now I need you to do this to take me further. Like I've made a step. Like even 10 over 10, we used to be like, the bare minimum is to at least have your song on YouTube. Even if you have 100 views. Yeah. Come have your song on YouTube. We'll host you on the show because it's a platform to boost you anyway. Yeah. So I like to see people who've done stuff and and you will always get, hopefully one day I'll have somebody to do this for me. But for now, I like to do it myself. I don't have anybody who manages my pages. I just do it myself for now. Maybe eventually one day.
With your 1 billion followers.
Yeah, man. Maybe one day I'll give it out. Because it's actually, especially now with Wabebe, it's getting a bit more stressful. And I think I tried it, by the way, before to get somebody to handle the account. It's scary. But anyway, people do it. And so
what I'm afraid of getting a manager to manage my pages is sometimes, man, there's personal messages in there that, some people text you some personal messages that you probably wouldn't want somebody else to see.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I'm going to get to that point too. But I am very busy. And I think that because of my busyness, my pages don't get as much attention as I would have. Sometimes I go to my requests. There's tons of requests over there. And of course, every once in a while I would get my brother to manage my account for me, because I'm like, my brother can read through my messages, my cousin, that is. But what I think the whole point here was that I just sent you a DM, man, and you replied, and here you are, man. Thanks for, wanting to sit with me. So we had a meal today that was beautiful. Just sitting down and chatting with you, man. That was awesome, man. As we're landing this plane, in the tradition of this podcast, we treat our guests like presidents.
All right, thank you very much. I have a drink.
We borrowed this from the United States presidency.
Okay.
Whereby the president who's in office normally leaves a letter for the next president who's coming into office.
Oh, yeah, yes.
And so since we're a podcast and what we do here is ask questions, the guy who was here most recently left a question for you.
Okay.
Normally, I don't see this question until right now.
Okay.
And so it happens that the question that this guy asked is very similar to something that I'd asked you before, but I'm still going to ask it because it's the tradition of the pod. So here's your question.
Okay.
How do you deal with online feedback and the challenges of online bullying? This guy who wrote this is a celebrity too, and I think he's had his fair share of this, and I guess maybe this would be helpful for him because he knows who you are.
Okay.
I mean, I told him that the guest who's coming next is this guy.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll say this. Like I said, number one, you always have to remember that in social media, the reason why there is that comment section is for people to comment. So they're going to comment. One way, shape, or form, they're going to say some stuff.
Yeah.
And not every comment is going to be great, beautiful, because that's just human nature. So number one, you have to believe that is why the social media exists, for expression. That's number one. Number two is that people are going through different things in life and that there are different stages in life. It is not an excuse for them to be mean, but more often than not, they are projecting and not really meaning what they're saying to you. That's why you have to look for positive criticism and not just blanket statements and people who are just making a comment to get clicks and likes and get people to be riled up and laugh over there. So if it's online feedback is important because they'll say, hey, you're starting to change, or this is not what we're used to, and sometimes you are actually trying to generally make that change, or the sound was bad, or this content could do better, or you could have shot it this way, or that is
some
feedback.
of those are good feedback.
Some of that is good feedback.
Yeah.
The topic was this way, you should have taken it maybe this way, or you need to be careful with what you said there, or what you said is not true. And this is the facts. That's not true. So you can deal with that way. So that's good feedback.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just have to, like they say, take a licking and keep on ticking. Yeah, sometimes you know that they're going to say bad things. I mean, my dear says, even when you die, they're still going to talk about you.
Yeah.
So don't let what they say deter you from doing
great things.
It's not what they call you, it's what you answer to. That's it.
Yeah.
So keep your head above the water always, and always go back to the people who matter. Think about the people who matter. If those people who matter are okay, and these are the guys and girls, like my friend Dan Asada says, can go somewhere in a cool ocean and sit. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Willis, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Here's your opportunity right now to write your question to the next guest who's coming.
Do I get to know who's coming, or I just write?
Nice, man. Bazoo himself.
Yes, sir.
Man, thanks for hanging out here with me today, man. Having your entire afternoon, man. You've given me 5 hours of your time, man. This has been awesome. Thanks. I'm not sure you do this, often.
Yeah.
But thanks nonetheless. You have no idea who I am, and you just showed up for this, man. Thank you. Thank you very much. And may God continue. You are a believer? Are you Christian?
Yes.
Yeah, may God continue blessing you, man, for what you're doing out here. And may God bless Wabebe XP. Grow to the heights that it's supposed to go,
folks,
man.
Come through. Follow us on Wabebe XP Africa, Willis Raburu on YouTube. Go to www.wabebexp.com. and give us that feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm going to put all these links in the description to the video below, so you can go out and check out Mr. Willis Raburu himself and Wabebe XP.
And thanks for also hosting and doing what you do, man. And I was pleased to know that you're teaching very hard things.
I'm trying.
And so, man, also you, man, all the best. Like I always tell everybody, one, God loves you, and that will never change. Successful people look like you. Everybody you see who is a success, imagine they wanavaa to trouser one time, and most importantly, whenever you're looking for a model and a vision for success, just look in the mirror.
True.
There it is right there. And one thing that I told a very close person to me the other day, because he was worried about something, he was saying, man, I'm about to make this big decision, and this person doesn't even know that it's coming. So I see this person walking around every day. It's like, and they don't know, that it's coming,
I'm going to make
right?
this decision,
So I told him the reverse is true as well. God is probably looking at you, worrying about the situation right now. And he's like, man, if Ogato just knew a year from now, he'll be so far, this will be nothing.
Yeah.
Like, If he only knew, he would stop worrying about this present situation. So always think about it that way. Even God is just looking at like, hey, I can't wait for you to, man, you don't know. You don't know how it gets good. Just hang in there. It gets good.
True.
Yeah.
Man, thanks a lot
for
doing this with me, man. If you've made it this far, I think it's because you did enjoy this episode. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and do subscribe to this channel. And remember to tell your friends, to tell their friends. If you've been friends with us for long enough, you probably know that episode 100 is coming up, going to be recorded in Kenya National Theatre. If you want to get a ticket to come hang out with me, and you never know, maybe Willis will just decide that day to stroll in. Go down to the description to this video and purchase your ticket right now so that I can hang out with you on January 4th at the Kenya National Theatre for the episode 100 live recording. This has been the Couch Connect. I've been hanging out with Willis Raburu himself today. Do you call yourself also Mr. Wabebe XP? Or me?
Well, now, that can come. Bazoo, Mr. Wabebe XP. Yeah.
I've been hanging out with the Bazoo himself, a great guy, visionary leader, wonderful guy in the media space, very, very educated, and very soon is going to be known as Dr.
Willis Raburu. Edwin, Wayne.
Till next time, do take care. Kwaheri.